Is your podcast coming back anytime soon? Yeah, stay tuned for that. Honestly, I was just feeling very alone. Quit your job and pursue YouTube full time. Can you talk a bit about your faith?
Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Been wondering just what you.
Okay. Don't understand. Which one's the top?
Never been much about you. Don't get me wrong, I think you're great. Root of tradition we celebrate. But oh, Christmas tree, more than anything, it's all the people around you.
Alright, I just signed off work, took a shower, and I'm about to head out now to Flushing because I'm gonna get my hair done today. I'm gonna dye it black. I know some of you guys might be thinking, don't you already have black hair? It's pretty brown, if not sometimes red, and I just want it to be like a clean, solid black. So yeah, that's what's happening today. I know it looks really black right now, but that's because it's kind of wet. June was actually making fun of me because he's like, dude, you already have black hair, why are you dyeing it black? But I don't know, in my eyes it's not black, so all right, I think I need to leave now. Let's go. Is the final look. It's definitely a lot darker than it was. Now I'm gonna head over to June's place. Oh, and also before I forget, apparently they are hosting a giveaway on their Instagram right now. I'll leave the link in the description, but they're choosing like 12 winners to get a free hair transformation. So yeah, if you've been thinking about getting like a winter hair transformation or something, definitely enter their giveaway. And yeah. Do you like my hair?
It's black.
It's like black, right? It looks different, right?
Yeah, it does actually. There's no like tint to it.
So who was right?
I was. It's still black.
No, before it was brown, but now it's black.
No, before it was black and now it's black. Oh, it is pretty black, huh?
It's pretty, right?
I'm admiring your hair. It looks good.
How much is it? It comes with sauces. Oh, I love it. Oh, man. So bad. Got my lunch here. I just ended up ordering Chipotle because I have no groceries right now, but it is my lunch break and I thought I would just sit and chat with you guys. Maybe you're on your lunch break, I don't know. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some of your questions, so I thought I would answer some of them while we eat. All right, so I thought this question was really sweet. A lot of you guys actually asked, how are you? How's life? How's it going? And I would say for the most part, I've been pretty good. I feel like just this season and this time of year though, it's pretty common for people to feel kind of just burnt out from the rest of the year. And I definitely feel myself getting that way. I think I've been a little bit more irritable, but I'm slowly kind of like transitioning out of that, or at least I'm trying to, and just trying to keep a positive mindset. What are your plans for Christmas? So I'm gonna stay in New York this year. Usually I go back to Oregon for Christmas and LA for New Year's. Just flights were so expensive, and I made a trip out to LA like a month ago. So I'm just gonna visit my family early in 2022, maybe like January, February. Is your podcast coming back anytime soon? So I got a lot of questions regarding the podcast, and honestly I have no excuse. I feel like I've promised you guys it's coming back for a while now, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna do kind of like a pre-season introductory episode, which I am planning on uploading Christmas Eve. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Do you sometimes regret moving to NYC? I'm kind of in this phase right now where I'm like,
New York, moving back to LA next year.
but I always go through these phases. The reason why I started feeling like, oh, I want to move back to LA was because honestly, I was just feeling very alone. Like, yes, I have friends here, like I have a boyfriend here, but it's never really the cure to loneliness. I think I'm realizing more and more that feeling lonely, it comes a lot from just like within. It's just a lot of things that you say in your head, like nobody cares, you know, like I have no one. So I was like, you know, if I was in LA, I would have so many friends to just hit up whenever. But I know that even if I was back in LA, I would probably feel the same things, because there were definitely times I felt that way even in LA. I guess that's a very roundabout way of answering that question, but like for the most part, I'm very grateful that I'm here. I've met so many people here who, you know, I want to keep as just like lifelong friends. I met my boyfriend here. So for the most part, I don't regret moving to New York, but there are definitely moments where I'm just like I want to go back. What are your goals for 2022? I actually haven't really sat down to think about what I want the next year to look like. I'm still reflecting a lot on this past year. There's a lot of like self-development things and just like things pertaining to my way of thinking that I want to work on. My number one priority for the next year, just my relationships with people, whether that's with my family, my friends, my boyfriend. I really want to prioritize like fostering those relationships. And that's because the past couple months, I really learned that that's the most important thing to me in my life. Like beyond career is just that connection that I have with the people in my life. And so like we're not going to be here forever, and when I'm gone, I want to be remembered as like a good daughter, a good sister, a good friend, a good girlfriend. Those are the kind of words I guess I want to be defined as. And that kind of ties back into the whole like self-development, self-growth thing, because I think in order to have good relationships with people, like you really need to work on yourself too. I feel like it kind of just goes hand in hand. How do you deal with insecurities when it comes to finance, friends, body image, etc.? I guess in terms of like finance and career, I've just kind of learned along the way that even during the times when I felt like I was just killing it or I was like successful, I still felt like there was something missing in my life. When I felt that way, I realized like, you know, I can chase after these titles, I can chase after these like salaries, but at the end of the day, it's not really gonna make me feel completely fulfilled. So I just kind of remind myself of that. I've also kind of trained myself to not compare myself to other people, because that's where a lot of my insecurities would stem from. Everyone is on their own paths, they're going at their own pace. You could feel like behind in life right now, but if you know what your goals are and you're working towards that, then I don't think it really matters if someone else got there first. It's not really a race, and I feel like when we treat it like a race, it's really easy to get lost in all the motions and not really enjoy the process. Can you talk a bit about your faith? So this is a topic that I've never really openly talked about on my channel, but I think everyone knows like I go to church because, you know, I've vlogged about it and it's no secret. I'm not like trying to hide this part of my life. So I did grow up in a Christian family, but we didn't go to church every single week. We were the family that would show up on like Easter, Christmas, but it was around middle school when I like reaffirmed my faith, when I chose to go to church on my own for, you know, my own reasons. Since then, I've been kind of in and out of the church for many different reasons, but at the end of the day, there are just so many things that happened in my life that will never make me stop believing, that will never stop me from completely cutting God out of my life. It's always going to be a very like integral part of who I am, and I guess that's as much as I'm willing to share on the internet, because like a lot of the things that happened, they were very personal to me. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Did you always have so many friends, or was there a time when you felt you had no friends in life? That's very interesting. You guys think I have a lot of friends, or I guess I do have like a lot of friends, but there's a difference between having like knowing a lot of people and having like very close friendships. You know, like if I could choose one or the other, I would just choose to have like one very, very close friend. I mean, luckily I've been fortunate enough to build these friendships with a couple girls in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. But it wasn't always like this. And honestly, like my best friends right now, they became my best friends as an adult, like after college. Some of those friendships may have like started in college, but it was really like after college when they got much deeper. Trust me, like I know how hard it is to like insert yourself into different friend groups. Like I moved a lot growing up. I think we were switching schools at least once or twice a year. So I was always the new kid in school. I was always eating lunch by myself. There was a time it was like the Mean Girls scene where I was in the bathroom by myself because I didn't want to sit at a table alone during lunch. I didn't eat my lunch in the bathroom, but I was just like killing time in there, which if I think about now is kind of gross. And then I would show up to my classes really early and just like chat with the teachers. So yeah, grade school was not very fun for me, but then college really took a turn for me. I think because there were just so many different organizations and like clubs on campus, it definitely made it easier to find people who had similar interests as you or like similar upbringings as you. And that kind of brought me out of my shell, like my very introverted shell. And then when I started working, that's when I really honed in on my like small talk skills. You're doing that constantly, you know, like whether it's with your coworkers or like you go to events, you're just like meeting people left and right, and you have to be able to engage in like any type of conversation. It was really good practice. Do you have plans to quit your job and pursue YouTube full-time? At the start of this year, I actually made it my goal to quit my job and just freelance full-time, whether that was freelance copywriting, freelance copy editing, doing YouTube, doing podcasts, whatever, right? I was just so fed up with all of the BS that I had to deal with at work, and I didn't have the best relationship with my manager at the time, which really just messed with my self-confidence and my worth and value at work. It was just not good for my mental health, and I was like, all right, I need to leave. But fast forward to today, I'm on a completely new team and I have a lot more freedom and control over the work that I'm producing, that I'm not in such a rush to quit my job. I'm kind of happy with where I'm at right now. It's nice to make like side money through like social media and stuff, but for now, like I'm pretty content with where I'm at. I guess to answer your question, I don't have any plans to do that anytime soon. Like I don't have the confidence to be able to financially support myself just through YouTube. So I'm still gonna split my time between like my full-time job and YouTube for as long as I can, because having a stable income is honestly kind of nice. I guess that kind of leads to another question. How do you manage both YouTube and a full-time job? I think I'm just very, very lucky to have a job and a manager who is very flexible. Working from home definitely gives me more time to film. Like right now I'm filming during my lunch break and I'm having like lunch with you guys. The work that I do is very project-based as opposed to like daily deadlines. So one day I can just crank out a lot of hours on something, and then the next day I can take it a little more easy. And so just having that like luxury of having that freedom definitely helps. What's your enneagram? So when I saw this question, I actually took the test again just because I wanted to see if it changed at all. It did not. I'm still a very strong type 9. All right, almost done with my food, but that's all the time I have for today. I'll try to answer maybe a few more questions in like another video or something. Thank you guys for sending in your questions, and thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.